Hey Arctic Wars, what's up? Arctic Phoenix 27 here. I'm looking at the score of the Juventus Benfica game, and of course Benfica won, and I'm just gonna go on a bit of a rant on Juventus for a moment. I do not know how anyone can think Juventus is a truly an elite team. Like, look at the stats here. Look, more shots, Benfica, more shots on target, Benfica, more possession, Benfica, more better passing, Benfica. Hell, he even got less yellow cards and less offsides. Every conceivable fact, Benfica won. And I think this kind of says something about Benfica. I think I have them win the group. But like I said, Juventus, they're overrated. I'm just gonna look at their stats, even their own league, and I think their league is overrated. So, and like, even in their own league, they're tying Roma, tying Fiorentina. They barely just lost to PSG, and I think they're kind of paper tigers as well. Juventus, the only reason why they even made the round of 16 the previous 2 years is... Okay, and I'm just going to look at their Champions League results. Because, they have been in some awful groups in the Champions League. They got knocked out both years. The last 2 years in the Champions League. Let's look at their seasons for a moment. Okay, let's scroll through that. I just want to look at their last 2 years in particular in the Champions League. Their last 3 years. 2020 Champions League. Let's look at their league. Let's look at the group stages. Okay, let's see here. See, Group D. Look who at their group. Outside of Atletico, they had Bayer Leverkusen, who, they're a good team, that they weren't elite, and they beat Lokomotiv Moscow, and I think the Russian league teams are not that good. And let's look at who they beat them in the knockout phase that year. Oh yeah, Lyon beat them in the knockout phase that year. Granted, they made it to that was a year where the French league actually looked like they had promise. But still, they lost to Lyon, and Lyon, I mean, they're not really considered an elite team. So yeah, it wasn't a bad group they're in. It's just the fact that, but here's 2021, and this is where I think they really start to become overrated. Okay, Group G. Yes, they won their group again, but they beat a Barcelona team who they were starting to become a bit overrated, even with Lionel Messi. I mean, Dynamo Kiev looked like an absolute joke. I mean, and they're in the Europa League now. And yes, I picked Dynamo Kiev to be in the knockout round over Juventus. And Florentinos, I mean, they're not a Champions League team by any stretch of the imagination. And they lost to Porto of all teams. And even Porto's kind of looking overrated as well in their own right. They lost 4-0 at home to Club Brugge. And I know I've been kind of propping up Porto through my predictions, and even Porto, they're in a decent group, but Olympiacos and Marseille just look like jokes. And let's look at last year's team, and this is where they become extremely, and there's the whole Super League controversy that year. We're not getting into that. And look at this team here. And again, they won their group, and they beat Chelsea to defend. But look, Zenit St. Petersburg and Malmö. Zenit St. Petersburg lost their Europa League knockout game. And they're not even playing this year because of what's going on in Ukraine. And Malmö, they're another team who, again, no business being in the Champions League. Yeah, the last 2 years, it's just, they look terrible. Yeah, and in their group, but again, They lost to Villarreal. And yes, Villarreal looked good their last 2 games, but they're playing the Conference League right now. Yeah, the last 3 teams who beat them in the knockout rounds, they're not even playing Champions League soccer this year. So yeah, and they're not even looking good in their own league, I don't think. And not only that, the league they're in, Serie A, and Italian football in general is becoming overrated. And look, they're 8th in their own league. Look at all the teams on them. Napoli, Atlantia, Udinese, Roma, Lazio. Seriously, they've been a declining team in their league for a while. And I'm going to prove it to you here again. They have been like probably the main reason why Serie A has been overrated, because they have been the face of the league for the past how many years at this point. And look at, and yes, they won their league how many times? And they barely snuck in like 4th place both those years. Yeah, let's look at the standings. Oh, geez. 1 point in front of Napoli. So yeah, again, that year, barely snuck in. The champions. And oh yeah, so they had Cristiano Ronaldo. And hell, they had Cristiano Ronaldo, who Man U has right now. And yeah, and in 2020, once again, 4th place team. And yeah, Bolton and Napoli got in this year. Oh geez, what a shock. And the only team really doing anything in that league is it just shows that Juventus is the most overrated team in soccer. And it's not just because that their teams suck. They're on the decline in Serie A. It's the fact that Italian football in general is overrated. That just makes them even more overrated. And I'm not even going to go in depth with how Serie A has been, especially their top Champions League teams have been basically been underachieving. I don't know how they're seen as the 3rd best team in Europe. Like the best team, not Premier League or La Liga. And that there's just so much to say about Juventus being overrated. And I just looked at the stats. Benfica outperformed them. And hell, they're in a lower league, essentially, in the Portuguese league. And hell, the Portuguese league at least looks promising. Just, jeez. I don't know what else there is to say about Juventus at this point. They have basically proven to me why they're overrated. And oh geez, and we're gonna go, oh geez, 2019, where they actually look decent. Oh yeah, let's look at who they beat. Oh yeah, the Atletico Madrid. Oh geez, they lost to Ajax. And let's look at their group. Let's see their group there as well. Oh yeah, oh geez, they're in the same group as Man U. Who somehow made it in as well. They were actually pretty good, but Valencia and the Young Boys. Valencia is on paper is a decent team, but the Young Boys, whatever happened to them? The last time they were any good is 2017. And oh yeah, let's look. I'm not even gonna look at the okay, so group stage. Oh yeah, and they also had Barcelona, Sporting CP, and Olympiacos. Olympiacos, yeah, they were not not a Europa League team. Barcelona, yeah, they still had their big 3, I think. And Sporting CP was essentially a team that they were on the up and up, but they weren't at the level they are right now. So yeah, once again, they're not a good group. And oh yeah, they lost to Real Madrid in the core. Lost to Tottenham, which yeah, Tottenham would make the Champions League final. A team who, yeah, they made the Champions League final in 2019, but they are a woefully inconsistent team in European competition. And, yeah, Real Madrid, when they had, who I think they plucked Ronaldo from. So, yeah. They're not. Juventus is, without a doubt, one of the most overrated teams in European football right now. Weak groups, overrated league, overrated soccer nation, and also they've been getting worse and worse in league play as well. So there you go. Juventus sucks. They're overrated. They're gonna end up in the Europa League where they become another Arsenal type team. Thank you. Have a nice day.